Hello, I am Jody Wolf, and you're watching Expoz, January 30, 2017, 1:26 a.m. in Birmingham. And the topic is Trump, by prophecy, is indicated he'll be here for 2 terms. And, but that may not be the case. And I'm going to tell you why. Because God tells us to carry on. Just, you don't know the date nor the hour, so just carry on. But he said, carry on, and just don't let a point in time, like those who said Jesus coming at a certain date to sell everything and go meet him there. And God clearly says in the Bible, or Jesus said, if they tell you that I'm here, don't go there. If I'm in the mountains, don't go. If I'm in the desert, don't go. He said, I'll come to you. So he made that very clear. Don't listen to these false teachers about Christ. Now, prophecies give us solid information. If a prophecy is given, then a prophecy comes to pass. Now, one prophecy said that Trump would be nominated, attempted assassination, and then mentioned presidential. So that was on the Torah. And then you had the fireman from 2011 said that he would be president. And but then you had Kim Clements, and I wish I'd known him a long time ago because he died in December. But first, you had prophecies in 2007 and after about Trump, and actually David. David is the sheriff, in Minnesota, way up on almost Canadian border. And I don't know what he's doing in the Trump administration, but I'm sure he's there. But Kim mentioned him and Trump. He saw them both, and he was told about both of them. But Kim was told 2 terms. Now, let me tell you why that it is important by prophecy that Donald Trump go in as president. Very important. That fulfills prophecy. The 2 terms does not. Because what he does, it was laid out that his numbers would go up the more he was attacked and certain things. But when you get beyond his being elected, as far as 2 terms, that's irrelevant for us, or for a prophecy as far as that goes. Because, and I'm going to tell you why, we have been expecting a rapture of the church for some time. Now, this Steve Quayle blog I just gave you, it is the most extensive part of the Antarctic that I've ever read or listened to in detail. If you look at the Antarctic, the way you look at it, it's always pointing north at the top. If you go southwest, that's the section, that's the point of where all this activity is taking place under the ice. And this is where the nations gathered, and the gathering was not a planned event. It was only on November the 9th when Trump was certified he is president. Then the Illuminati had to scramble and arrange these meetings with every nation at once. And the quickest time to get them there and to plan things out was going to be December the 20th. And they were there December the 20th. Now, Kerry told you some tales. He said, well, I went to this place, then over to Iceland, and then not to Iceland, oh heck, what is that beside Australia? I don't remember. But he went there, and then he went somewhere else, and then somewhere else. He didn't do all that. He went to two places. He went to a closest point to the Antarctic, and then from that point, I think it was Australia, to the Antarctic. And New Zealand is what I was thinking of. Then I think that was the point where he went to. But Kerry went on behalf of the United States. And he's supposed to be Christian. But these things are talking about destroying Christians first, and the Jews first. And so he goes to this meeting, and they had to postpone everything they had lined up, because I told you, and I was very adamant about it, that Hillary Clinton was going to deliver to the United Nations Agenda 21, the very agenda that Obama signed with the Pope and with the UN, and he did it in New York. That's where he did it. He signed it with Obama. That is giving sovereignty of this country over to another country, I guess, caretaker, which, as far as United Nations, a safe zone for people, is nothing but a trash heap. And is, the Pope, by the way, is part of this that's going on under the ice. And to deliver America to the Pope's hands, and from his hands to the UN, then the next hands it would go in would be the New World Order. Look, all that could have taken place in a year to a year and a half's time. But first, it was America that was going to go down, and go down in such a way that there was no way to fight back. Naturally, there would be. There's a lot of militia out there that are ready to go. Now, they will be the ones fighting these things coming. They're going to come, as you heard. Most are going to come from the South America, Peru, and the mountains of Peru, and Bolivia, all the way down to the southern tip. And inside the jungles where no man's been, there's portals, and they'll come out of these giant caves. And under the ground, they didn't hammer and chisel these caves. They have machinery, even though we knew several years ago they were dissolving 8 or 7 miles of rock a day. Look, they've been doing this for since 1940, and even tunnels that big, they were doing 7 miles a day. Didn't have to be one machine. There could have been 19, 20 machines lined up side by side to get a half-mile wide and 300 plus feet, 300, 400 feet, which is 30 to 40 stories. And what Steve Quayle was about to allude to was how tall the creatures and how tall the giants were that would be riding these creatures. He did say in there, and if you go back and listen to it, that would be a cumulative feet of 30 feet in height. And then on this Tyrannosaurus Rex, even more than that. So they needed the height, but what else they needed? 300 or 400 feet, I don't know. But guys, there's stuff going on. It's going on today, and thank God the election of Trump postponed it. And I'm sure Trump is very aware of it. His life will be, they'll make attempts on his life, but all will fail. He will be here until the time of the fullness of the Gentiles come in. Again, I said that before, that could happen in the first year of Trump being president. Trump just had to be elected and to put our country on a different path, which immediately removes the bad word, so-called Christian, that Obama tried to do. And the fact that Trump prays every morning, goes to church every morning before he starts work, is going to cause millions of people to follow suit. Hey, he's on to something. Or, maybe we better check out and see what Christianity is all about first. The fact that Obama brainwashed so many people, including Hollywood, why? What is it that makes them hate Trump? Their blood is the same color as our blood. But what makes them so special? What did they lose in the process? They didn't. They were brainwashed by Trump the whole time. By Obama. I apologize for saying that. They were brainwashed the whole time by Obama. And that's what brainwashing will do. It'll get people really quick. But, and one more thing, how many of the people in Hollywood have the same type of get-togethers that is very considered very evil? Satanists, they get together for, when they sacrifice children, they get together for that. A lot of them do. So maybe they're pissed off at Trump because he's aware of it, he knows it, and he will quickly call them out. Maybe that's it. I don't know. But I'm going to do a blog, and I'm going to give them hell about that. And anyway, this other, please go. I put that at the top of my information box, where to go and to listen to him. And look, there were two others. Him and Timothy Aberino at the same time were talking to Hagman, and both were removed yesterday. Yesterday they were removed. They were taken off. So I'm hoping that you see this before this is removed. Also, Skywatch TV, Steve Quayle and Derek Gilbert sat down and talked about the very same thing. See that. That won't be removed, but go see that one too. Jody Wolf Expoz.